Hello, friends, and welcome back in. Happy Wednesday, my friends. Happy Wednesday. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day and are here for a little beady inspiration. I just made the cutest pair of earrings, and I'm going to share that with you guys. So, welcome back. Welcome if you're new. Thanks so much for joining. All the goodiness, all the stuff, all the things. Guys, this is what we're going to make. Oh my word. We're only going to have to use 6 beads, 3 different kinds of beads. And this is where we're going. And we'll make both of my ear wires with you together. But look at how fun. Look how fun this is. I love this. Literally just playing with the wire. Notice how imperfectly perfect that little center spiral is. I cannot. So when I make the next one with you guys, this will not be the same. And that's what I think is so cute about these. Isn't that just beautiful? I love it. The diagonal cut cuboids, they just twirl around. The disc beads just twirl around. I love it. So, guys, let's make a beautiful pair of earrings. This is project 2 from my sleigh ride. And let me tell you what I'm using. 4 for each earring. 4 of your green 4mm bicones. Zoom you guys in. And 1 of our cuboids for each. And then 1 of the disc beads for each earring. The wire I'm using, my friends, is 18 gauge. Now, you could most certainly use a 20 gauge, but the reason I chose 18 was because it's a nice durable gauge for what I was kind of going for here. So I'm not concerned about this really getting distorted, right? So it's a little, challenging to work with, but we can do it. We can do it with that little spiral there. It's just gonna work out perfect. It's gonna work out because we're gonna do beautiful things. So, guys, I am going to grab. Let me get you out here. I am going to grab my 18 gauge piece of wire already cut. Now you need about. I cut probably too long of a piece. I cut like around a 10-inch piece. We probably need more, like around 7-8 inches. But doesn't matter. Just get a working piece of wire. I already straightened it out and flush cut it on either side, and that's an 18 gauge piece. Okay, and then for our ear wires, we will pull in some 20 or 22 gauge. Okay, friends, so straightened it out with my nylon jaw. Okay, and then what I did was grab my round nose pliers, and let me zoom you in for the good stuff here. Okay, we're gonna go right to the edge of our wire and the edge of my round nose there. Okay, I'm gonna make the smallest loop I can to get that first spiral going. So I'm just gonna turn in a loop, very, very tiny loop here. Okay, and that's good. Okay, now I'm going to grab my chain nose pliers. I'm going to put them over that loop, and I'm going to just make motions with my left hand and keep my spiral steady in my right hand in between the chain nose plier there. And I'm just going to go around and make whatever size spiral we want to make. I made mine pretty large. I was trying to go in scale with that gorgeous disc bead. So I'm just going to go around a couple times here. And again, we're working with 18 gauge, so this is a great wire gauge for something like this. The spirals are coming out beautifully. Okay, let me see if that matches. One more. So I'm just going around and around here. Small little motions to make my spiral. And then I'm going to wait till I think that's it right there. Yeah. So now that my spiral is complete, I have the center facing up. Okay, so that's where I stop. I'm going to take the wire now and kick it up. We'll center our spiral on the wire. So we'll grab a pair of chain nose, put it right up against where your spiral ends, and we will kick this wire towards us up. That was a tongue twister. And we'll just get that straight. And so now that's what we have. Okay, now I'm going to feed my disc bead on. This is where it gets too much fun and no two will be the same. That is why I love this. So essentially now what I am going to do, my friends, is I'm going to make sure my spiral's going the same direction as this one, right? So I'm going to turn, don't worry about your bead, right? Because it's going to keep going around like a little whimsy beauty. But we do want to turn our spiral this way, okay? So there's the front. So I'm going to turn it this way to put start my next loop. So I'm going to put my pliers right there, okay, right up against that bead. And what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm kind of to the edge of my plier, okay? Not quite, but just about. And I'm going to take this wire and I'm just going to push it around the outside of my tool, okay? And then I'm just going to rotate my plier and bring this wire around. Just going to bring it around and try to start a small spiral loop right here, okay? And as soon as I do that, basically, guys, the rest, I'm going to just work it out with my hands, basically. So I will try to hold this with my chain nose and get that first, like, bend in it like that. And from here, I kind of just used my hands, guys. So, kind of hold your bead any way that you can. And we're just going to work our wire up. And again, it's 18 gauge, right? So it'll work with you. Okay, that's a little too big, so let me bring it down a little. And I think I just went around 2 times. I pull that down and back around. Okay, so you see how I'm just literally like free-handing it here, guys. Free-handing it. And now I'm just gonna kind of come up again. And then when I come up here for my last little swoop, I'll grab my chain nose and again put a bend in my wire so where I can straighten that up on there. Okay, and it can be off center, like that's the way it looks. This is how this one looks. Right? How fun is that though? They are not going to be perfect. They don't have to be. They are not going to be the same and they don't have to be. That's what I love about these. Oh my gosh, I cannot. I cannot. So, and then friends, what I did was I fed on a couple of our beautiful green bicones. And again, these will fit, these 4mm, they fit. Everything here is fitting on the 18 gauge. So I figured I might as well use the 18 gauge. Feed that beautiful diagonal on, and then 2 more beautiful green bicones. And that's what I have. And then I can kind of decide, do I want to move things around? I can do that, because it's wire. It's 18 gauge and we can work with it a little bit. Now, if we work with it too much, as it's going to get too stiff and hard. But, if I wanted to pull that in, I can fuss and I can fidget a little here. So let me see. I think I do want that to be just a little bit tighter there. So maybe I'll try to go like this, just a smidge. Okay. And let me kick my wire back up. I'm careful of my beads. And there we go. That's what I have. And so now I'm going to turn my earring again this way and just finish it off on the top with the wire wrap loop. And I just did 1 wrap on my top here. So you can do whatever you are comfortable with. Okay, and let's get that wrapped up. And I really don't even need anything but my hands here. And I'm just gonna go around like 1.5 times there. That's about all I need. And we'll trim that off. And let me get that tucked in. And let's make a beautiful pair of ear wires to go with this. Alrighty, so there we go. That's what those look. they're not the same. Isn't that so fun? I have not done a pair like this since my Seashores bag. I love these. And you know, you can make these as long, and if you wanted to split these beads up and do a dangling component here, you could certainly do that, you know, but just having fun with the wire, right? Just have fun with the wire. So let's grab some, let's go with some 20 gauge, and let's cut off a couple of maybe 1.5, maybe around a 1.5 inch piece here. Grab. Alrighty, and I'm gonna grab my bail making, and I don't know. Let me think. I don't know. I don't think I want too long of an ear wire. Maybe I'll just do a standard, like short pair, because I don't think I want them to be much longer than what the component already is. So it's gonna make, I think I'm just gonna make a smaller ear wire here. So I've got that, and let me go into maybe that third bail there. Oops, wrong way. This way would be better. Put that down just a little bit from the edge of the ear wire. I can get them even here. About like that. And I'll just turn this wire in and up. And we will trim them now individually. So put that back in there and continue to kind of push that wire all the way over. And then we'll trim that, just have a regular loop there. So just kind of more of a standard pair of ear wires, I suppose. Tighten that up, there we go. Okay, and let's trim, and then we'll file. So let me see, we're gonna go right at the edge of that with the flush side going out then, I suppose. We'll trim that, and we'll do the same here. And then we can make sure we roll that in. I use this one. And make sure that's even there. And then I think what I might do here, guys, is I might actually grab my thin chain nose and kind of bend these a little bit. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna bend these a little bit. Some of them have these loops where they're kind of a little bit bent. So I'm gonna go right to the top of where those loops are, and whoops, I'm gonna do them one at a time because that one just fell down my player. And I am going to kick that down. So kind of centered my loop there, and same thing. I wanted to do them both at the same time, but they weren't having it. And now we will just go ahead and feed these on. And it does not matter which is the front or back, to tell you the truth. Maybe I'll make that the front. Oh, guys, how fun and so simple. I forgot to kick my ear wire up. I guess that might help. And then we'll file that. How fun are these, right? Something so simple, but so festive for the holidays, guys. These would make a beautiful gift as well for somebody that loves long, dangly earrings. So that's what we have there. That's what that guy looks like. And let's see. The same thing over here. Let me kick that up. And let's get that filed. No pokey pokes. No pokey pokes. Are you guys ready for 12 days of Beadmas? I hope so. I am ready. I am ready for 12 days of Beadmas. We are jumping off on Friday. I did put something up in the community tab, so just a friendly reminder to join me, won't you? And let's have a fun 12 days of crafting. We're mixing it up a bit here, friends. Let's mix it up a bit. For 12 days. We can do that for 12 days out of the year, can't we? I do have some jewelry in store. I'll give you a teaser. There you go. There's a teaser. I do have a couple of beautiful jewelry projects in our 12 days of Beadmas. So that's what we have. That's our beautiful, beautiful spiral earrings project 2 under our belts for taking a sleigh ride. Taking a sleigh ride, friends. I hope you enjoyed, and we will see you in the next one, my friends. Be blessed.